Yep, I heard it.
Yep. Recording started here. My name is Roy Canterbury. I'm your host today on Arch Talk 101. And we have a special guest back on the show again. We had a good conversation last time. We're going to have some more fun times today. How about if you introduce yourself and tell our audience a little something about you?
Yep, this is George from Fine Art, the only guy working there. Um, Quite thrilled. 2025, everybody seems to be back from hunting, and so first time I got some time, I figured I would talk to my old buddy Roy. So how have you been?
Been good. Like I was talking about earlier, still recovering from my bypass surgery and trying to build my strength up so I can hold up my bow and let alone draw my bow. So it's getting there. Just it's going to be a slow road, but you got to build up strength from 6 months of not being able to do anything hardly, and now it's just going to take a while, and I'll get back shooting a bow, and if that don't happen, I'll go crossbow.
Well, actually, yours truly. After all the abusing my body for the last 60 years of my life, I actually have go to crossbow since 2006. I did try to pull the bow a few times, but after three shoulder surgery, it's not really worth it. I probably want to leave the rest of the ability for climbing a tree stand.
Yeah,
But this is
yeah,
a good season. My season officially end tomorrow, but I got my last tech field 2 days ago, so I'm done for the season.
well, that's good. How was the hunt this year then? Pretty good.
I spent the middle of the season in China to catch up with all my suppliers. It was a long, long trip. I pretty much toured the whole place. I see my titanium supplier. I see my carbon supplier. I see my. I even go all the way to the edge of China to the west and see my titanium supplier. And then it was a long trip. But anyway, they do pretty much what I think they did, and so on. And should get three more U.S. patents this year.
Oh, that's good. What'd you get your
So,
patents on?
I should be, as far as I know, I should get the patent for the new titanium plier. I should get the patent on new stabilizer system. And I'm working on a brand new patent that should be issued on a new bow design.
Oh, cool. Well, once you get those and you're ready to start talking a
Not
bit more
really.
detail on it, we'll
Yeah,
have you back on. And
the titanium stabilizer bow I pretty announced the world in late December because that's pretty much given. The pliers is already on sale and the bow pattern is take about. I mean, I got a lot. I got about 8 patents in bow design, so I'm not ready for a bow yet.
yeah, once you are, we'll just get back on and we'll talk about it a little bit and so you can talk about the advantages of it and um, if there's any disadvantages, and we can talk
Well,
about those
just
as
like
well,
everything
just
else.
specifically.
Yep, just like everything engineering approach. It always a advantage and disadvantage depends on how what's the advantage that become to you as a shooter. Just like buying cars. You absolutely have a truck or you absolutely have an SUV or absolutely have to have a sports car. What do you want to use it for? And what are they for? I mean, I can talk about my new stabilizer, which I was pretty thrilled. It's I got 2 years patents on the carbon tubings, especially which is now translate into arrows. The manufacture of carbon tubings. And then I also got a patent on the titanium hollow stabilizer systems. Then I learned something after 4 year now. Titanium as a stabilizer, pure titanium as a stabilizer. The moment you go about 16-inch or longer with some weight, it does not work. It
Interesting.
really does not work. I mean, my customer telling me that although they like the way the longer solid titanium, solid or hollow titanium saber, we're talking pure titanium, GL7 or GL9 titanium bars. They're fantastic in handling the shock, but they suck in launching the arrow. Let me explain
Interesting.
what that means.
Yeah.
Titanium as a material is sort of lazy. And I'm using a 12 millimeter titanium tube, which is GL9. When you put some weight on it, when you pull the bow back, that moment on an ASA or RBO or tech environment or NFAA environment. After you put a bow back, the front of the bar will sway a little bit like that. That's about 2 or 3 seconds. But that itself will cause a lot of more traditional target shooter to not feel good because the stabilizer weight is forcing them to adjust to what they are not used to. So I found out that this is not a problem on any stabilizer bar that made of titanium under 16 inch. When I say 16 inch, I mean from the riser to the tip of the weight. So the bar itself is more like about 12 to 15 inch max. Anything over it, because titanium, although it's a fantastic vibration absorbing material, and sometimes like GL5, GL9, GL7, they are stronger and harder than steel. But they're also lazier. That means the moment you put weight on it, it'll sway slowly. Just like that. So, of course, the absolute opposite is like in the case of carbon fiber. I'm actually I'm one of the first guy who ever used 1K, 4K carbon fiber on my Aero Weave 166. So I learned the material well, but majority of my stuff is 4K, 4K weave. Now, the difference between weave carbon and a normal straight carbon is that a weave carbon have a lot more safety. It's not stronger, it's safer.
Now explain what different, why is it safer?
Because carbon fiber, when you weave it into a cloth form, when it breaks, it don't spur. It clean break. It's like, just like imagine you're holding a glass that's not tempered with a tempered glass. When you broke a non-tempered glass, it go into shards, sharp shards. In the case of a tempered glass, when you break, it go to small pellets. The same thing with carbon fiber in the case of a weave. When you break them, they clean break. You do not end up with sharp spurs.
And I seen that when the carbon arrows first come out, they were all just straight and they
Exactly.
break it, get all pieces in it. So there's no way I would shoot those at an animal because I didn't want carbon fibers. Then when they start coming in with the cross wave or the X weave, then they would break and they wouldn't have all those carbon
Well,
fibers
actually,
fibers.
I think you know Soto Marvin Carlston. He's the guy who started Gold Tip.
Yeah.
What he did is that he put different directional carbon fiber one over the other. So in some way that even in today's world, most of the carbon come in sheets. In other words, all the carbon fiber come in one direction, and you roll them. But the way that Gold Tip did it is that they put they put the carbon fiber say towards the left in 15-degree and towards the right in 15-degree. By doing so, multi-layer, they cancel each other theoretically. But then they still break. Yeah, they are very durable, but they still will break. But also create a different set of problem. It's called the spine of an arrow. In the traditional, when you look at Beeman, the original Beeman, you look at most of the Eastern, the spine, especially aluminum like the ACC, their spine, when you flex the arrow from front to the back, the spine is from one point, say it's 12 o'clock of the arrow of the weakest point. You go all the way from one end to the other. But in the case of carbon arrow, the time from when Gold Tip making it using multi-layer, multi-direction, the spine of a carbon arrow become helix or compound helix. That's the reason most people who are into the arrows will find out most arrow, when you cut them, the spine of the shaft will change because the center point of the helix will move, will shift. That's the reason every time you don't spine the arrow until you put an insert in it, build the arrow, then you spine it. Now, after learning that whole process, which I own 2 patents on, I figured that I would use a similar process on the titanium. This is what the new carbon stabilizer bar is. I'm using what I learned on all 3 processes. So I'm using the lowest, purest grade of titanium, which is GL2. They have the absolute best vibration absorption capability, except it's not very strong. GL2 titanium have the same modulus as brass. So it's pretty low. But I only put 0.5 millimeters, so it's pretty lightweight. Then I wrap 2 layers of crossweight carbon on it. Now I got the best of both worlds. I mean, I'm actually learning this whole thing of rehashing this concept, the ACC, the Eastern did with ACC. Remember the OCC, ACC arrows?
Right.
Aluminum inside, carbon on the outside. This time I'm using a stabilizer bar. I use titanium inside and carbon on the outside. Now the best part, I make them in different sizes. On the largest one, which you can put up to about a 4 pound weight in the front, if you really need 4 pounds. On the 33-inch bar, we're looking at 6 ounces. Yes, you hear me right. A
Yeah.
33-inch bar by itself without the weight, weight about 6 ounces. And I also make one because I got when I went to the NFAA, a lot of younger kids, but they still like a 27, 28-inch bar. They really want the bar to be super light. So I use two of my patents, the Aero Concept 1.0 and 2.0 for Aero, and I shift the whole thing into making a 22 millimeter stabilizer bar. Now you can hold a 27-inch bar of the Aero Concept 2.0 stabilizer for under 4 ounces.
That's pretty good. Getting a long stabilizer for the stability and not a lot of weight.
No, the way it's pretty much incredible. Um, I'm going to use this technology in so many ways. So since I own the patent now, I must well just go for it. I mean,
Right.
I got so many things I can do. I tried it, so many things. As a matter of fact, I'm actually building a new umbrella using that technology.
Oh yeah.
Hmm. Actually, I showed that in Miami and also in Fort Lauderdale in two trade shows and show people, and they are sort of they cannot believe what it can do. But then I think I need to sort of adjust the price. How big you think you? How big would you consider a big umbrella to be big?
Oh, probably, for just personal use, for you out of the rain, where they maybe 2 foot diameter.
No, this new umbrella is for commercial use or
Oh,
for
okay.
boats. Or when you open the umbrella, is a square, not a round.
Yeah.
It's 16 feet by 16 feet,
Oh, that's a big one.
and it's still under 10 pounds.
Well, that's pretty good. Be 10 pounds and 16 foot square.
Yep, but it's going to cost around $3,000 to $5,000.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, if
actually,
weight's a consideration.
no, the best side you can get handle a 35 miles per hour wind and will not collapse. So it's quite a few fun projects I got in my hand. So it's not just archery. I mean, but last 15 years since I started, I got 43 water US patent, so three more in archery. It's not counting my banking, my computers, my networking. We don't count any of those. Just in archery. I got 45 US patents, but 43 and going to be 46. So it's pretty thrilled. I mean, this is
Yeah.
what retirement should be, you just do things that you want to do. And then money is not really a concern. So if I say I'm going to make a brand new, see, my new my patent pending titanium stable pliers, I just make that. It cost me $80,000 to make this,
Yeah.
but it's only the
That's
pure
kind of
titanium.
interesting design.
Yeah, I got a patent on it too. It's the only plier in the world that gives you pure parallel movement. Look at that. The latest
Yeah.
version is a 21 millimeter in middle. It's a 1 to 5 ratio in force. So that. Look at the jaw. It
Oh,
closes and
yeah.
opens.
Now, for
Perfect
those that are
paralleling.
listening, it looks like the old scissor jack as far as the handle part. And as you squeeze it,
No,
the
but
jaws
see,
are
this is where
parallel.
the pattern is. Nobody have this pattern. Because see, when you open the jaw wider, this jaw become higher, which you can grab. But
Right.
using this approach, I can grab it even the jaw is superbly high.
Yeah. Normally pliers, they just kind of get wider and wider and you have to get your hand around them. But
Correct.
because that
You
goes
see,
up and there's a swivel joint go down, so they meet at both ends.
yep,
That's
you
pretty
see,
cool.
the final version is not this. I'm going to have the scuba leather finished. I'm going to have the ball bearing system in here. See that right there?
Oh
And
yeah.
then I'm
It's
going
kind of like
the
a
boy.
fishing swivel.
Yes, but I'm going to modify it with the clip system right there so you can remove it. So Yeah, I mean, I figured that this is to compete with the Abels and the Venstore. See, when I was fishing back in the 1990s, I paid $250 for Able. And then when my daughter was born in 1998, I paid 320 bucks for a Venstore. That's 1998 money.
Yeah.
Of course, today, if you buy a Vensport titanium, it's closer to 500. So I figured that with this, I'm going to go for about 350 with the case. But then a few company talking to me now. I'm actually talking. I got some connection with the Siemens, the company who make MRI machines.
Yeah.
I got a version of this without the stainless steel, with the rubber in it. This whole thing is made of pure titanium, so there's no magnetic effect in it. So you can use it in an MRI room.
Oh, yeah.
And since it's made of pure titanium, see, I even built a jaw. See that right here? I have it for the fishing hook flat and over for the sleeves for crimping.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, this has become my knot pliers. I know 350 bucks for a knot plier, but then if you like me, love absolutely the best of the best, this is it. So
Yeah,
that's another new toy I built this year.
that that's why they put titanium in your body and stainless steel
Hey,
because otherwise you could never have an MRI.
I have a piece of titanium in this finger when I was 14 years old. We're talking my first exposure to titanium. It was in 1977 when I first got titanium in my body.
Mine was in June of this year when
Oh,
they put
so you
titanium plates in.
yeah, so you can imagine I'm with titanium close to 45 years.
Oh,
The material is really it's just like a lot of things. Most people don't understand titanium is not titanium. Just like stainless steel, well, steel is not steel. Because stainless steel is a steel, core 10 steel is a steel, case 5 hardening steel is steel. So is everything that around you. Your 2020 stainless for your eating is steel. It's the same thing with titanium. Titanium is not simple titanium. And just like this year in archery, a lot of people are touching magnesium. Well, magnesium is not an easy material, and that's a lot of people don't understand it. I'm going to see a lot of people going to push back against magnesium because I don't think they did it right. I mean, this year, the expedition is the first one you use magnesium riser. And then I saw this year Obsession is doing something, and so does Bowtech. That's what I have in the ATA. I look at it. People need to understand magnesium is a much more less modulus material. They need to be concerned about the design of knowing what the material can do.
right,
Just like titanium. Titanium is what? Titanium is close to 4.7 in grams per cubic centimeter compared to aluminum, that's 3.8. And then compared to your magnesium, that's 1.7. So magnesium is a third lighter than aluminum. But aluminum is twice, half the weight of titanium. And titanium is about 40% lighter, 45% lighter than steel. So when you look at all those, they all have benefits. But then I don't think a lot of people address it correctly. And I saw the people design, they just use a design from aluminum and move to magnesium or so on. No, they can't do that. It's not the same thing.
yeah,
You need to
just
sort
take
of
a different
engineer,
design.
yeah, you need to trick the design significantly. I want to do a lot of rib design when I'm using magnesium. As a matter of fact, you remember the company Oneida?
You right?
Oneida, the all original Oneida, like the X80, it's a magnesium riser.
I guess I
But
didn't realize that.
it was such heavily cast. When people say magnesium riser or aluminum riser, of course, those are all alloy. Those magnesium back then is significantly have a lot more other material. I would say those may be something like a 15-3, which is 15% aluminum, 3% chromium or cadmium, and then you rest is magnesium. Now, majority of the, I mean, those are the casting easy magnesium. Because otherwise, the Oneida bow will be so freaking heavy you can't hold it. You remember
Yeah,
how heavy that riser is?
yeah.
I mean, it was this thick in the top portion and just solid all the way around, you know. Yeah, I just don't think at that moment they cast it because of ease of casting and ease of machining, but they are not really the best approach. To be fair with you, my personal feeling is that the best Oneida is the Pro Eagle that come out in the what? That will be the 1997, 95. You remember when the Pro Eagle comes out? They only
I
make
don't
about
remember.
50 to 100 of them. I regret that I should have just jumped on it, but that's one of my favorite balls. So what have you been shooting lately? I mean, I know you have not been you heard, but before that, what ball are you shooting?
I have a PSE that I shoot. Actually, I've got a couple of them.
Oh,
I have a 2001 Carrera that I use for my hunting bow and a 2003 Scorpion that I use for my other bow. And then when
yeah,
I was working
actually,
at Cabela's, I got a bear. I don't remember which model it was. It's in the snow camo. It was a $900 just plain bow, and it was in the return buck. We used to get big pallets full of bows that'd been returned, shipped to our store
oh,
because we had techs that knew how to pull them apart, fix them, and this is one that there was the part of the stabilizer or the string damper was messed up. I had to fix that. The string needed to get replaced, and I think I got the bow for you know less than third of the cost of it. I
oh,
don't remember if it's
definitely.
$100 or $150 or something like that, because it needed all this work and you had to fix it up. So I fixed it up, got a new string on it, and haven't done anything with it since because I got the other bows.
Well,
But now,
to be fair, this year I was looking at all the bows. I went to ATA. Did you go to ATA too?
no, I didn't.
I went to ATA. I was looking at all the bows. For with the bows I actually put my hands on, there's nothing really thrill me. But I truly like the PSC carbon bows. I think they are very well engineered and the approach to what engineering is indeed correct. The only downside with those carbon bows is that the fasteners, the stabilize, the string stop in them is a little bit less to be desired. That's the reason my latest sellers are the titanium upgrade kits for all the bows. A lot of people upgrade their Matthew, their Hoyt, the Bowtech, especially the PSCs. The PSC is my biggest chunk of business is all in PSC to fastener upgrades. So it's really quite amazing what they do. A lot of people still haven't understand what the material will do for you.
Yeah,
I think
well,
the
it takes
first
somebody
time,
that does a lot of work and studying it.
well, actually, the time that I really learned something is that I was working with a gentleman named Jim Miller out of Texas. He used to be a Matthew Pro staff. I remember the testing when I did it in 2014. Oh, that's what, 11 years ago?
Yeah,
I was doing a titanium swap on a bow called the Matthew Chill. I was shooting the ball, 70 pound, 30-inch straw on the machine. And then we shoot the ball and measure the 30, 40, 50, but 20, 30, 40, 50 mark. Then we take the ball apart, put the titanium fastener in it, and shoot the ball. Same arrow, same speed, everything. The ball shoot the same speed, but at 60 yards. Actually, at, at 40 yards, we already see a 2-inch difference. We are talking the same ball, same arrow, same launch speed. That means the bow out of bow, the arrow out of the bow have the same on chronograph. But at 40 yards, it's shooting 2-inch higher. At 60 yards, it's close to 4-inch. Isn't that
because of
something?
switching some of the parts out with the titanium stuff.
Correct. Isn't that wild? And think about it. The arrow do not change. The weight of the bow do not change. The speed of the launch speed do not change. But the arrow is sitting 2-inch higher at 40 yards. Actually, 1 and 3/4 inches is what the number is.
Now, what
Isn't that wild?
did you analyze what was causing it to do that?
No, I should know what's going on before I do this. What happened is that because it was considered an 80 or 85% lead off bulb, and the arrow was back to the max. So, like a lot of times when I was studying how arrow flight using the high-speed camera I got, I noticed that when you put titanium in the bow, the behavior of the arrow shaft in flight changed. The arrow did not change. The energy asserted and retained and consumed in the arrow changed.
Interesting, because I know last time we talked about aeroflight and what's, affecting all the arrows it's leaving, and kind of amazing that just putting some titanium in there in specific, replacing certain parts with titanium changed that aeroflight.
Well, actually, the arrow flight. Now, let me rehash what the arrow flight characteristic is. You got your basic parabolic action, which the arrow flexes like this. The longer
Right.
the arrow, the more frequency you got. So on a basic 26, 25, but 26 to 27 inch, the arrow flex like this only. When you arrow longer, it flex like this. Okay? That's your parabolic, which we call the archery paradox. That's especially true in the modern high lead-off compound bow. Now you got a second motion. It's the arrow when you shoot it. The front and the arrow because of the spine of the arrow shaft. We're not talking a carbon arrow, okay? We're talking a normal carbon shaft. We're not talking arrow shaft that we find out make. Those are arrow weave. Arrow weave and aluminum shaft is the only shaft in the world that when you flex, the arrow have minimum torque. Do you understand what torque means?
Right. I do, but go ahead and explain it because not all of our listeners and watchers may know.
Well, when you got an arrow, the front and the back, when you compress it, the front and the back of the arrow, because the arrow spine is not linear, the arrow spine is helix or compound helix or in a spiral form. So when you shoot the arrow, when the arrow flexes, the front and the back will twist. It's called torque. Some of the arrow, the characteristic was so bad that when I'm out of the high-speed camera, we can see that as the arrow slightly turn, just so you know, every arrow that we make today on a vertical bow will turn to the left. As long as the knot is touching the string and it's tight enough to hold the knot on the string, every arrow we today make that shoot out a vertical bow with a good knot connection will turn to the left, no matter what.
No matter whether you're right or left helical fletching.
Correct. You'll always turn to the left.
Now
It
is
is proven.
is that a rotational to the left or just like a pointing left
The
as you shoot?
arrow will rotate to the left.
Rotate to the left.
No matter what, it will rotate to the left to start.
No, it's out of a right or left-handed bow, either one.
Doesn't matter. As long as you got the string out of today's bow, the knot clip onto the string, you'll get a rotation to your left.
Oh, that's weird. Because normally you think the fletching is going to rotate it either,
They will. I mean,
clockwise
as
or
a matter of fact,
counterclockwise.
when we were doing that testing with Exodus, we're using a high-speed camera, we found the arrow will rotate to the left. And then because with arrow veins and with arrow concept, the arrow will stall itself to the rotating to the left and then turn to the right at 5 feet.
Oh,
So
okay.
the vein will
Initial
always
launch before the fletching has a chance to counteract it, it
right.
rotates to the left.
And
So
do you know
then wouldn't
why?
it make more sense to fletch it with a left helical?
Then you need to change every broadhead, every insert, isn't it? Because every time we impact, you got to unscrew the broadhead.
Right. We'd have to have a left-handed thread.
Correct. So everything had to be left-handed. And at the same time, it's better to have a left-handed bow with that. So we all have to train our right hand and using our right hand to hold a bow now. So that's not going to be practical. I mean, and we are not Koreans. Koreans only have right hand bows.
Oh,
It's a natural sport. I learned that. No matter what, you shoot with your right hand, and even if you're left eye dominant, you shoot your right eye only. So wear eye patch.
yeah. Wear an eye patch. Yeah.
Yes, you can train your head. As a matter of fact, it take me a long time. I mean, I talked to Joey out of Joey Strings. I was talking to the gentleman out of Texas and also out of Nebraska, and I was talking to the used to be the actually Rick out of string manager out of Vapor Trail. This is the fact that every single knock that we shoot on a good control knock to the string, the arrow will turn to the left. Do you know why?
That I'm not sure of, but I know you
It
know
is
why.
yes, because we went through that extreme research to see whether it can do something. I mean, just like if it is the same thing I explained to me. Actually, Joey explained to me. Say, think about left-hand ball and right-hand ball throwing baseball. You throw a curveball. The problem is the connection of the thread on the string to the connection of the knot. The string is throwing a left-hand ball to the arrow, which forces it to turn left. That's the reason every single knot that touched the string will turn left. Then what people say, why the hell did we not go ahead and make strings or surf the string that will turn to the right? Answer is that you couldn't. I have that long discussion with Vapor Trail. Christy, before she left the company now. Now is I think it's Jake now. But I always talk with Rick. They are good guys. And then I also talked to Tim Hustler out of American Bass String. We have a long discussion. The bottom line is that because every string material will buy from BCY, from Brown L, start with a right-hand turn. So you need to right-hand turn, right-hand wind, and then you need to serve from the right to the left. You can't do the left to the right. Otherwise, it will unwind itself. So theoretically, if you really want to make a string, which we did, by the way, we were working with a gentleman out in in Texas that who actually did this. We take the entire string material, like a BCY string, we put it out to close to what? It is a 28-inch, so we get 20, 30 wine, so we put 30 meters of it. Then we put on a drill. Then we force the string, instead of do a right-hand turn, into left-hand turn. Then we wind the string from left-hand wind, and then we serve top to from the left to the right. And guess what? At the moment I shot the arrow, it comes to the right. So in order for us to get a true right-hand turn arrow, we have to start from the material when it was winded.
That's interesting. I hadn't thought about that. Just like last time, you brought up some stuff that I hadn't thought about, and a lot of good knowledge. And this is some good stuff to think about. It's
Yeah, but then see, that's another thing. Because see, at that moment, up when Exodus showed that on the high-speed camera, and then I say, okay, what's the difference? The fact is that there's less than 0.1% difference at 60 yards on impact. That is measurable. Yes, that is measurable. But what does 0.1% means on arrow impact force? It's unimportant.
right.
But what is important, sorry, I was going tangent on this. What important is that we find out with the titanium. Remember we talked the first motion is the torque. Again,
Right.
we talk about the flex. Then we have the oscillation, the ovalization of the shaft. Because when the shaft also bend, the front of the shaft will actually turn this. The middle of the shaft, sorry, we do this.
So not
It's a
only is it round, but it's flattening out a little bit,
yes, every flex it did, it caused the pill to be flexed like this. But that is a good thing. You know why it's a good thing?
right? Because it has spring back to being round.
Correct. Because it become a energy transfer and storage process. So that doesn't hurt. Then we also have what you call the oscillation vibration. That means the entire shaft, because it's carbon, because it's wrapped. In some way, think of a Chinese finger puzzle. If we compress it, the arrow shaft, the whole tube, will actually go this, from front to back. No matter how small, it happened. And the final part, which is the killer, is that when you shoot a high let off and a high frequency and high energy comparison to a light bulb. Because remember, you're dealing with 70 pounds onto an average of 450 grain arrow. Okay?
Right.
There's a lot of energy going to that arrow. So the arrow also do one more thing, ultra high frequency resonance. That means there's a micro movement of the entire arrow shaft. What I have discovered is that what I've observed, not discovered, because what I observed is that the titanium hardware on the bow minimize the formation of the microflex.
That's why you're getting a little higher impact point.
Correct, because the energy was not consumed in the microflex. When you have microflex, the energy is used because every flex is just like every motion is a consumption of energy.
Right.
In the first 20 to 30 yards, that consumption of energy is on the shaft. So that's the reason you don't see it in the first 20 or 30 yards, but you see it in the 40. Because at that moment, the arrow pretty much, you got the same energy output at that moment. But since the arrow do not consume the energy because of microflex, that energy is still on the arrow, which increase its kinetic energy, which not increase, which retain the kinetic energy, which is also
Right.
why it hit higher. It was when I found that out, I was like, holy cow, we're talking,
Ye-
it's free, because you are putting the bow, the energy is stored in the bow, now convert into arrow and fly. But that energy is not consumed in a motion or reaction that you do not want, which gives you more energy downstream. But then, let's just be frank. If you are a 30-yard guy, what difference does it make? You don't really care. But then
Right.
the difference, now I tell you the difference, is that your arrow recover faster. The arrow will be straighter faster, which means that your point of impact on the arrow, onto the animal, is more lethal. Let me explain to you why. Imagine that the arrow is like a train going straight on the track. Okay? When the front of the train hit the wall, if it's straight and not shaking, the rest of the train, which is the rest of the arrow, will keep pushing. Now you got the entire train pushed towards one point. Now imagine if your arrow had microflex or majority of the flex or torsion. You have to think about a train going slightly bent when it hit the target, which means your broadhead. In worst case scenario, the rest of the train will fall off the track. In
Right.
minor case, that between the individual cards, you lost energies because they are shaking. So the total amount of impact force on impact is significantly lower. How significant? It's about 8 to 12% difference. That's like 60 yards, which is not a small number.
No.
So
That's
those are the
not when you
fun
get
stuff that
down.
I found. And yes, I mean if you're not shooting high speed, you're going below 270, all of them don't mean much to you. But since I'm in crossbow now, and most of my customers are really, really, and like majority of guys in my age, is that they will go bow all the way. They went through the surgery, like 2 or 3 times surgery, but they still want to hunt. They move to guns, and then they found the season is too short.
Right.
You got like 7 days, you're done. Do you really want to shoot like me? Absolutely. I enjoy hunting every day if I can. Then the next step is crossbow, which is why explain why crossbow is such a big seller now. Do you know crossbow sale is higher than vertical bow sales? I did not know that until
Oh, yeah, I
the
didn't
quite
know
a
it.
few. It's until a few PSC salespeople and the guy was doing. I know a gentleman out of Walmart was telling me there's more people hunting with crossbow than you can imagine. Because in today's world, if you want to say top end vertical bow fully decked out, you're looking at what, $3,200?
Yeah, they're getting up there.
I know, but you can get a bow for about $700-800 to shoot. But how about a top end, a high end crossbow? What's the price of what's the price with scope and everything on it and arrows?
Well, they've got some of the high end ones that are run 15, 2000 for them.
Try forty-five
But
hundred.
most of them are, yeah, yeah, I've seen some that are higher than that, but a lot of
Yes,
them,
I
like
know. Like the
your
new
10
10 point
points are
with the
going to be
Oracle,
a couple grand.
the yeah, for about 4.5 grand. But then you also look at catalog like Finger Hut, Walmart, and what Barnett sell a lot. Those are all under 700.
Right.
And they kill deer just like the expensive ones. And see, the moment when you look at the catalog places like Finger Hut, Marketplace, those places sell crossbow like you never believe.
I guess I didn't realize Fingerhut sold crossbows.
Yes, they do. They and not to mention they also give you a finance for it. I didn't learn that. I remember when Mark Winberg sold the company to another company, they literally sell hundreds of thousands of crossbows.
Hmm.
I didn't know number was that big.
Yeah, I've bought some from them many, many years ago, but it was, I think I bought a set of cast iron skillets from them many, many years ago, and that kind of stuff. But I guess I haven't been out there and looked recently. I didn't realize
Me either. I mean,
they
those are
sold
what
them.
I learned. Those are what I learned from other people who know this. I mean, it's just like our eyes in today's world are so focused with all the media or all the news, like all the news. We don't really got a big exposure to other stuff. I mean, just like I was surprised when I go into archery that all the stuff that I learned scientifically was not actually used by any. Seriously, the archery is not a very scientific, fact-driven approach on anything. I remember I used to buy whatever on the first two pages of Cabela when they come up with buy. Think about all
Yeah.
the stuff I bought. I'm just thinking, wait a minute, I'm an engineer. Why the hell would I bought a weight transfer insert? I paid 18 something dollar for three of them and I bought two of them. It's not gonna work. Why did I buy it? I did. I mean, we're talking like in the early 1990s. They were on Cabela's catalog, like 20, like $18 for three, and I give them $40 for two sets. I mean, today's me, we think based on my engineering learning in academic in college. What the hell I was thinking?
Yeah. Yeah. You never know. You kind of get in there and it's like, oh, there's something new. Let's try it. And
Right. I
there
mean,
was no science behind it.
let me give you exactly what how stupid it sounds. I will still remember this incident. I will never forget the rest of my life. When I was working, when I finished my first chunk of bachelor degree in Indiana University, I worked in cyclotron facility. I remember vividly when I went to the cyclotron on the target area, which radiation really high. We have to wear that white uh, tef, what, Tyvek suit with the carbon in it.
Yeah.
And then I got my ray meter to make sure that I was not exposed too much for radiation. And every 3 months we need to throw that whole thing and keep it for and throw it. You know why? It cannot be renewed. Carbon take about 13 to 1400 degree Celsius to release the material is soft and fill up the carbon. I mean the charcoal. And then after my divorce in 2025, I got married. I was hunting seriously that year. I was screaming at my wife, saying that she was hogging our new dryer because I need to recharge my clothing to go hunting. No, no, no. I did say that. And while I'm seeing the dryer tumbling, like usually, it freaking hit me like a rock. How hot is this dryer? 80-degree Fahrenheit, maybe 160-degree Fahrenheit. What I'm saying I was doing, I'm recharging that carbon clothing. A fact that I know carbon charcoal takes 1300 degrees Celsius to release the contaminants. What am I doing?
wasting time trying to recharge
No,
it.
I'm just maybe drying my clothing, yes. But you know what? Things like this just, I mean, from that point onwards, is where I start rethink about archery or everything they say about archery. I mean, the old way saying of that you can sell snow ice to Eskimos. That's what they did to me.
Yeah.
So I pretty much told myself, and I talked to my lovely wife now, Angie, I say, hey, lovely, you know what? I'm going to start a company and do everything based on absolute facts that I know of and able to prove. And I will show them what it can be done and how they work. A lot of people say it's stick oil. I would say, okay, I will do something that the archery industry have not done. You know, on my website under warranty page, I give everybody a 30-day unconditional, no fault exchange and refund on everything I sell. Do you know how bold that is?
Yeah.
That means if you buy anything from me, you got to pay it for 30 days. And if you give me back all broken, I will still refund you. But of course, that will be the last time we do business because you intentionally destroy it. But if you destroy it by
Yeah.
mistake on learning process, I will pay for your mistake. That's what I have decided to do that in 2005, but 2006 October when I started Fine Art. I have not regretted because I taught enough people who are able to enjoy archery the same way I do. I'm pretty thrilled about it, and I'm proud of that too.
What was the name of your website?
FineArt.com. If you look at fineart.com, you go there and then under the information, and then you can go straight to under warranty,
Yeah, let me go
under
ahead
support.
and let me go ahead and share it.
Sure, if you look at it,
There we
the
go.
first, yep, the first sentence. All Fine Art brand products have an unconditional, no fault warranty, and unconditional refund from the date of purchase for 30 days. Under the word support, all the way on the support side,
Oh, okay, there we go.
and then click on it and warranty. No, click on support yourself, and then no, go back to support under warranty. See the warranty page? Click on it. Look at the first sentence.
You have unconditional no fault warranty and unconditional refund from date of purchase for 30 days. Our warranty is only valid for products sold directly from FireKnock LLC in the USA, FireKnock web store, or FireKnock authorized or certified pro shop and offers through them. So yeah, um,
I have
that's a
not
pretty
changed that.
bold statement.
Yes, that statement been on since 2006 on my first pamphlet. So, you know, when people say, am I selling snake oil? I say, if I really deal snake oils, at least you got to try the snake oil for free.
Yeah, right. Well, while we're here, let's just go ahead and take a look at some of the different things that you have on here. And um,
Yeah, you look at it, and this is actually my SQL with a web front end that actually show you every component we make. Just like you click, say you go ahead and click the manufacturer, say Eastern, you can see second last on the bottom. And then people say, what you say arrow? You can say like X10 Pro, which is newest. So scroll to the bottom, keep going, and then you can see X10 Pro, which just come out this year. Just like 340 or 300. Go ahead, and then let go. Instantly, it will tell you that's the picture of the bow. That's a GPI. Those are the knot,
right.
insert, and everything that will fit it. So I do a cross-reference database for every arrow in the market, what you can buy to make it work with my components. They are all interlinked with my website too. So if you want to learn, of course, those are the product based on what you select in packages. For example, if you scroll up a little bit, and then you say you want to learn about the knot, just go all the way to the top. You click on see the knot part, the red part. Yes, go and click it. You will see that they will tell you everything about that knot and all the package underneath that knot. So the system is extremely intuitive. Pretty good, huh?
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah, that's pretty
that's a
good.
wrap app. Go ahead and click the word titanium kit, which is on the top bar next to the right there in the middle.
Oh, yeah, okay, titanium kit.
Just click
Okay.
on it. See that, for example, you want to click on say PSE or Matthew.
Oh, let's go down here to PSE because that's what I have.
Okay, go to PSE and then you tell me what year that is. Say 2023.
Oh, you only go back to
Oh,
2010. Okay. You don't
correct.
have mine.
Yes, I mean I can, but I need databases. I need information. Say we let's go pick 2020 2020 then. 2020 is a good
Yeah.
year. And then those are the bow I have specs on. Say the Carbon Air Steel Mark 1. The moment you let go, the system will tell you, show, just scroll up the screen, you can see that. You can see the bow and every single screw that we offer for that bow. And you notice there's not many screws on that bow. Do you know why? Look at it. This is all the stuff on that bow. And show you the shape, form, how many of them, how important of each. And if
Oh, there we
do
go.
want to buy it, just click buy now. And you can see the system will instantly bring you to my web store and give you all the, oh, that was an old one. That must be too old that we don't have link of it
Oh,
anymore.
oh,
I
you don't have
apologize
it.
for that,
Yeah.
but doesn't matter. I mean, anytime, some of the boat we don't make it. So let's go to PSG and go 2023 then. Those are
Yeah.
the newer ones that have much better link. And then just say Carbon Mark 34, the third one. Yep,
There you go.
you can see that. It's much clearer now. And then when you click buy now, you'll go straight to the web store and then you'll give you exactly what you need. Yes, I mean when you encounter things like this, I'm going to update that website because sometimes when we update it, and things like that happen. Unfortunately, that's only me, so
Yeah.
I just had to fix it.
So you're basically just, replacing a lot of the screws and bolts in there that just by changing those, you get all that the effect of having the titanium in
Well,
there.
actually, that is one by pattern and by the description and test. There's one thing actually would do as much as the whole titanium kit. Remember the time when STS first comes out?
Yeah.
That's about 20 something years ago. You know what the string stop that first come out?
Yeah.
That's actually a very good invention, but it was not. The world is not prepared for it. Now let me ask you one question: did you remember any bow you see in the market now that do not have a string stop on it?
No, most of them now do. Of course, my two bows that my two PSEs don't because they're before they
A little
had
bit
those.
older, right?
Yeah.
But if you look at the bow for bows, that part really interesting right there in the middle. Actually, called for bows. Just next to titanium kit on the top bar. You got components. Yep, next on the right hand side of it for bow. Click on it for bow, the one next to it. Tools on the other side.
Oh, for
Yep,
bow.
right
Oh,
there. See that arrow called the arrow bump.
right there.
Yep, that one of my best invention. It is a simple. This alone would do as much as a whole titanium kit. Isn't that wild? Okay,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
bar is made of GL2 titanium, and I got awarded a US patent on it. As a matter of fact, that bar alone would do as much as a full titanium kit does on resonance control. Now, people say, if you do the string stop and you do the titanium, do you got double the effect? Answer is no. You got about 120 to 130% effect. In other words, the titanium alone will give you maybe 100%. The string stop will give you 100%. You do both, you may got 120 to 130. But then we're pushing high end now. Get an extra
Right.
30% is not easy.
Right.
You can see, I mean, I got over 800 products now in my company, which you can see on my back is all the stuff from
Oh,
here to
yeah.
there and there and there.
Yeah,
So
lots
I
of
think,
products back there.
oh, you bet. So, it will take you hours. And not to mention, if you buy any from me, I give you my book, which is a catalog with all the stuff. And I got Andrew University English department to rewrite the whole thing for me. And I toned it down to 11th grade English. So you can really, really, really sing a lot of stuff.
A couple of serving jigs here. Those are
Oh,
like
you
pretty
bet.
nice serving jigs.
Well, as a matter of fact, all the major string company all use mine. An average BCY serving kit will give you about 3 pound pressure. The
Right.
ABSSJ, that will actually, I know when Joey was testing it, he told me he can apply 32 pound pressure on it compared to 3 to 5.
That's pretty good. I got some really, really cheap with just aluminum wire that's bent, aluminum that's bent in half that are bent in a U shape, and you can't put any
No,
pressure on
those are,
those. But
as a matter of
I
fact, that serving jig have a full drag system, which consists of a 9 drag element, 4 titanium, and 5 carbon systems. So this is not so, and then every roller is hollow titanium. And the eyelet for that is zirconium oxide or silicon carbide, the same they use in fishing guides.
yeah.
You can see, I got enough stuff. So I think most people will can spend some time and really learn about it. But if they just want to take it easy, they can go to a Fine Art website on YouTube or Fine Art TV and learn about this. I did a lot of lectures for that.
Yeah, the jigs I use, you can't put quite that on there. I use a little bit better jigs than those little cheap ones. I had a bunch of those, and I give some away to the friend of mine that does stuff
Yeah,
for
as a matter
Nebraska.
of fact,
But
with my jig, if you don't do not run a specialty archery like Super Server, you don't need this. This will give you arthritis if you use it because the pressure is so much, your wrist is going to hate you.
yeah, yeah. Sometimes I get it pretty tight, and it's like it's a lot of work wrapping them around with your hands.
No,
So if
no,
you're not
you
using,
you cannot because it's like when you're dealing with this kind of pressure, because when you move from one hand to the other, that change hand process, your pressure is off already.
yeah,
So this is a very precision high-end systems. Therefore, people who professionally make strings need it. That your average Joe can't even begin to appreciate it because you can't use the ability of it.
let me take a look at just kind of browse around here on different things that's on your site, and lot of cool stuff. And you
Well,
know,
actually, you really need to understand what you're looking for. I mean, the
right.
biggest thing of me is that Fine Art Site as a component company, just at this moment on components alone, aero components, we have over 400 different aero components. Just simply say inserts for the 300. I got 14 inserts for the 300. And for the possibility of combination, I'm now selling about 12,000 versions of lighter nuts.
Oh,
No, I'm not joking. That's the bad part. So
let's
just to
see.
maintain this website with all the stuff in it is pretty involved.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff on here.
Oh,
Well,
if
let's
you
look.
people were really interested in research, go to support. I got something really interesting for you to see.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Click on support itself. Those are just papers, but under support, under research. Sorry, my apology. All the way to the very top.
Oh, okay.
See, there's
Research.
all the research I got from Tony Warden, like Warden Outdoors, Aeroflight 101, our patents. Those are all the research you can learn. Like all the operator testing result is under Warden Outdoors result. I got to meet a gentleman named Tony Warden, Warden, all the way on the very top. Move your, yep, right there. You passed it.
That one right there.
Yep.
Warren
Just click on it
Outdoors.
and you'll see it. Yep. Tony spent a few weeks doing all this testing based on what is going to do and happen. You can see all those are results in graph and charts. That's what he did with the testing. This is what the chart supposed to do, the introduction of it. But then if you scroll back to the top, go ahead and call speed loss graph number 3. Yep, just click on it. You can see based on the arrow, based on what happened, the energy loss, based on percentage. Those are the actual DAPA radar results. So we did quite a bit of research, didn't we?
Right. Yeah. You really went into a lot of detail on that, and I wasn't expecting less after our last conversation about arrows and arrow flight. And like, man, there's so much that you don't really think about in there, you know.
Well, but you know what? That was one thing I learned. Just because what I told you today is what I believe is right,
Right.
I like to be proven wrong every time. Because when the moment I just like I remember Dr. Tim Ellison when I was in IU. He told me, Dodge, the moment the test result is not what you expected, you should be super excited. I say why? He said that's maybe where the next Nobel is.
Yeah. Yeah. I
I
just looked on
vividly
the.
remember that conversation we have. I was in the middle of fixing the beam position monitor in Cyclotron, and then I say, "You do all this for what?" Some people prepare 2 or 3 years for 8 to 10 seconds of target report, and we have 2 GB of data going to all the mainframe computer. He said, "Yep, those guys going to plow over those data, and they were hoping to find the next Nobel."
Yeah, it's
That's the
like,
kind of. Mhm.
yeah, fireknock.com, and there's a lot of information. I clicked on the, on the research and Aeroflight 101, and it talks about what you're, and it has some nice graphics in there of the flex of the arrow
Yep, my
in
daughter
there,
draw all those, and then showing you the behavior of
rotation
the
versus
arrow.
torque.
Right.
A nice little graph there, and
Yep, I think
oh,
people
nice.
really enjoy this, and then, of course, sometimes I go into like one of my customer call me next thing you know, I give him a full like a half an hour lecture.
Yeah.
I can't help it, you know. I mean, those things is so natural for me after the audit. I mean, seriously, I was rehashing what I had back in academic days. But this is where I think the foundation of the next generation need to be, not when people just tell you. You need to
Right.
learn the fundamental first before you can enjoy the sport the best. I mean, even I still remember one guy told me if Einstein was born in the middle of Amazon jungle, what kind of thing would he invent? The answer is not much. He will never go through school the way he did. He will
Right.
never exposed to the knowledge he had. So what can he may not even make it. The guy's not strong enough to survive that environment. At least from the look of the pictures, right?
Yeah, it's just looking at the harmonic dampening, and that's kind of interesting on there.
Oh
Um,
yeah. I mean, we put a lot of all these informations are also available on the catalog. So if they want to download the catalog and read it on the iPad, they can. It's under resources. So Roy, we have been talking for over an hour something. I
oh
think
yeah,
this is a fantastic time. So
right.
my wife texted me 3 times asking me to have lunch. So
Oh,
I need to cut it short, and we will definitely do this again next time. If you have something that you want to discuss more, today we just talk, but I think you
right.
can see how much stuff I got. So if you would think of something you want me to sort of drill into, I would definitely do that. I used to do a lot of podcasts with the Exodus under Deer Gear, but unfortunately, I heard the company's gone. The company's gone as of January 1st. So I met up with another group called the Wing and Tail Boys out of Pennsylvania. So I continued that, but going a little bit more deeper into the research. So they are all on the on the YouTube, and all the audio sections are again rehashed. Well, no, not rehashed. I would say remastered and published in under Fine Art TV. And so is all my lectures. All the dealer who come to Fine Art have went to the training lectures. So everybody who want to learn, I'm not hiding anything from anybody. So they can just go ahead and learn at their own pace. And if you really good questions, email me. I usually answer my phone myself because I'm the only guy here.
Yeah, you have to answer them yourself. So yeah, I brought up just a little quick before we head out of here. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I brought up Fire Knock TV, and
Mm-hmm.
Here's some of the stuff here. We won't go through a lot of this because I know
Yeah,
it's
actually, I
much
want you
time
to
to.
show you one portion. Click on the 2023 arrows. Click on that a little bit, but then you stop the video. I want you to stop it for a second, and then scroll down to the comment field. This is what I really want to show people. Say more. Comment on the more part. On the comment very on top.
There it is.
See that? I actually give you the entire presentation notes in Google Presentation. So I not just give the lecture, I give you the lecture notes itself. Go ahead, click on the Google Doc presentation. You can actually go ahead and give you the entire lecture notes of everything here. And if you
Oh
scroll
yeah.
up the top, you scroll to the bottom, you actually have all the lecture notes on, no, the picture side.
Oh, the picture side. Okay.
You can see that on the bottom of it, there's all the notes are there.
No, that's some really good
Actually,
information
there's
in here.
more. If you go to menu and view only, you go into say presentation note, the system will actually show you all the notes that I use to teach this. Now you're seeing the pictures only, right? Now see there's a
Right.
tab on the bottom. You need to raise that tab up. You will see the notes. See there's a small tab underneath the question mark.
Oh yeah, right here. Yeah.
Yep, scroll up. You will see the actual lecture notes in it. See that? Scroll up higher. You'll see the entire everything I talk about is in writing. So you can read about the theory, what is it beyond, what I'm talking about in actual word form.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, I'll make sure I get a link to both those sites in the description, so make it easier for people to find it
Good,
and
excellent.
get some information. Yeah,
So Scott, I hate to cut you short, but I need to run. My wife is texting me heavily.
yeah. Well, it's been great talking with you, and yeah, next time we'll get into something a little bit different next time,
Yeah,
and
find a specific topic. Send me a few links of what you want to talk about because today we're all over the place, which is fine. I mean, we're just like
right.
friends talking, catching up. But at the same time, if you want to discuss on a specific topic, I will join into it with you.
Right. Well, the first time we talked about Aerofly, now we talked about a little more detail on the bows themselves, and maybe next time we can go in a little bit more deeper on maybe how to
Whatever
set up
subject you like. I
or
mean,
something.
on a
Yeah.
site, on a rest, on a camp design, on a riser material design. I mean, like today we talk about string making. I mean, the more you understand it, the better off you are. But then you know what you can do and cannot do based on what the limitations are.
Right.
Just like one simple question: can we make a string to make the arrow turn right? Answer is yes. But this is what you have to do.
Yeah. You have to put left-handed threads in. Or it's going to unscrew all your tips or glue them in.
Yes. Yep. Or you simply go ahead and get a spool of BCY, go into a stadium, and then twist it from the left to the right to the left, and then we do the whole string. You got exactly what you needed.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, it's been really great talking with you. We'll do this again, and we'll get a little
Definitely.
more deeper on other subjects, and we'll just kind of continue on. But yeah, it's been great having you on. And my name is Roy Canterbury. I've been your host today on Arch Talk 101, and we'll see you on the next one. Just remember, you can catch this recording either on Spotify or Audible.com. You can get them there. Listen to it if you want to watch it. Go out to my YouTube channel, learn to fix it yourself, or you can go out to Arch Talk 101 Facebook group, and the video will be there as well. So we'll catch you. And for some of them here, you actually go to my profile. You can see this because I did go live in my profile today. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But anyway, if you have any questions for me or for Dorge, just post the comment, and we'll try to get you answered.
Hey, wonderful. Nice talking to you, Roy.
All right, nice talking to you. We'll see you later.
Mm.